Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where I cover missing persons, unsolved cases, crime news, and more. We have a bit of an update on Madalina Cojocari's case. This was pretty much what I had suspected for quite some time now. Law enforcement is stating her mother, Diana, is the main suspect, and they believe she is the one who made Madalina disappear. Alright, this is from WCNC. For the first time, Diana Cojocari is named as a suspect in her daughter's disappearance. Now remember, she went missing in November of 2022. The last time she was publicly seen, little Madalina, was getting off of her school bus. Diana Cojocari, the mother of missing Cornelius girl Madalina Cojocari, has been formally named as a suspect in the young girl's 2022 disappearance. In a social media post on Monday, the Cornelius Police Department referred to Cojocari for the first time publicly as a suspect. Never before in the year and a half since the girl was last seen had a suspect been officially named in the case. Yeah, this is big. I think a lot of us already suspected Mama because Christopher was allegedly gone and he was out of town for a few days, and then Mom suddenly took this trip with her and then she was just gone. So I had a lot of questions, and I still do, for Diana. Both Diana Cojocari and her husband, Christopher Pomer, were arrested in December 2022, weeks after Madalina's disappearance. They were each charged with failing to report the disappearance of the then 11-year-old girl. Diana Cojocari was released from jail in May, a day after pleading guilty to failing to report her daughter's disappearance. Diana Cojocari had previously pleaded not guilty to the charge. Her release was possible because the maximum prison sentence is 24 months, minus time already served. At that time, Cojocari had spent 520 days in jail after being arrested in December of 2022. Pomer is Madalina's stepfather. A jury recently did find him guilty of failing to report the disappearance of her. Neither Diana nor Pomer have ever been charged with anything other than the failure to report Madalina's disappearance. The Cornelius Police Department told WCNC Charlotte that while Diana Cojocari is a suspect, she is not currently wanted or facing new charges. Yeah, there's a lot of questions here. Typically, it means that there's probably some level of new evidence they've got, and there's something that points to not just her failure to report her daughter missing, but that she actually played an active role in her daughter going missing, explained attorney Timothy Kennedy. Kennedy is not involved in the Cojocari or Pomer cases. He explained to WCNC Charlotte that Cojocari can't be charged again for failing to report Madalina missing because she pleaded guilty to that charge last month. However, other charges could be on the table. If they're charged with, say, murder or some kind of homicide offense or some kind of kidnapping offense, they could be essentially tried twice or charged for the two different things, he explained. Now, she is supposedly possibly getting deported, so this could prove to be another issue. Marriage of Pomer and Cojocari. Days after his trial, Pomer filed for divorce from Cojocari. On the paperwork, he indicated that he and Diana had been separated since December 17, 2022. That is the same day the two people were arrested for failing to report the disappearance of Madalina. Madalina has not been seen publicly since getting off her school bus on November 21st, 2022. The marriage of Pomer and Diana was on public display when Pomer was on trial and charged solely with failing to report the disappearance of his stepchild. The jury deliberated for only 15 minutes and found him guilty. He was sentenced through 30 months of supervised probation. As part of that probation, he will need to pay his defense attorney back the more than $30,000 it cost to defend him. During that trial, Pomer testified that he had met Diana Cojocari using an online service. He flew to Diana's home country of Moldova. I always say that wrong, sorry guys. And both Diana and Madalina immigrated to the United States in late 2015. During that trial, jurors heard testimony outlining what lawyers described as strange behaviors conducted by Diana Cojocari. Jurors were being told that Cojocari held faith-based rituals that sometimes involved knives and fire. Jurors were also told Cojocari was paranoid and believed Russian operatives, such as Russian President Vladimir Putin, were endangering the family. Diana did not take the stand during Pomer's trial, and thus no rebuttal regarding her actions were ever presented. Could Diana Cojocari be deported? In May, the judge told Diana, who is not an American citizen, that she was likely to be deported when she changed her plea to guilty. This came before she was publicly known to be a suspect in the case. If it's a felony, there's a decent chance that might come after. David Concha, an immigration attorney, told WCNC Charlotte in May. The immigration attorneys, neither of whom are involved in this case, said with the backlogs in the immigration courts across the United States, deportation is not something that happens overnight. Well, that could be a good thing, because as far as we last knew, she was still hanging around. It depends on a case-by-case basis, but in general, cases do take quite a while in immigration court. We have wait times that we've seen years. Kenneth Baum, another immigration attorney, said. Concha said even though each immigration case is different, the ultimate goal is to determine if a person should be removed. We have an immigration law called aggravated felonies. Usually those are going to result in someone being eligible to be removed, he explained. He added that everyone has the right to defend themselves against allegations and can find ways to make it work in their favor. I gotta say though, I don't think she wants to stay here. And she doesn't want to pay her way back, so either her family's going to get her back, in my opinion, or we're going to deport her. Been here more than 10 years, you may have a chance of a defense called cancellation of removal, or they look at whether you have been a victim of a crime and helped in the prosecution of that crime. The federal government has a different set of criteria, and even if a person does time on the state level, they can still be removable on the federal level. ICE released a statement saying they're committed to enforcing immigration laws humanely and assessing whether an enforcement action is warranted. As of her release from jail in May, it was not known whether Diana Cojocari would face potential removal proceedings. So I heard that she was packing up from their old home because obviously Christopher doesn't want anything to do with her. And I saw that she was hanging around by a pool at some point. I saw these on the Facebook groups. Now, where she's at right now, I don't know. But she's, as far as I know, she's still in North Carolina. The Cornelius community is still actively trying to find Madalina Cojocari. It's been over a year and a half since she mysteriously disappeared. The tight-knit community rallied together when Madalina was first reported missing. All this time later, that is still the case. It's been a challenge, Pete Medro, a Cornelius resident, told WCNC Charlotte previously. We try to keep somewhere hope that she is alive. Hope that Madalina is out there. Yellow ribbons are still seen wrapped around mailboxes in the Victoria Bay neighborhood where Madalina lived with her mother and stepfather. Madalina was not reported missing for 3 weeks after she was last seen publicly getting off of her school bus. It was her school that first noticed her prolonged absence. I think the frustration is seeing the parents, mother, or stepfather around in the neighborhoods, and most of us know that one of them knows something. Yeah, and Christopher knew stuff and he talked, but Diana, she knows a lot. We just wish that they would come forward and tell us she is safe. As a neighbor, Madalina represents a vibe in the suburban neighborhood. It's difficult not to try to make assumptions, but we're all sure that one of them knows something. It just can't be a missing child for that many days. Other people have also noticed Diana Cojocari around town. I think it's very awkward to see the mother out walking the streets of the neighborhood using public places, just free in general, and the little girl is still missing, Carrie, a Cornelius resident who did not wish to provide a last name, said. For Carrie, who's a mother herself, she said this disappearance hits close to home. Carrie said her home was one of many searched in the Victoria Bay neighborhood. My son is the same age as Madalina, and they got on the same school bus. The FBI searched my house in December when it was all going on, she explained. They searched every nook and cranny of our house, and I complied. Anything we can do to help. The community is still holding hope for the best. I hope they find her, she said. I hope that she's out there and one day she's found. This is a very watchful community. Although Madalina Cojocari has been spotted a few times, Pomer appears to be keeping a low profile. Diana has served her time, while Pomer is on supervised probation. Cornelius police, along with the FBI and state investigators, continue to look for Madalina. Anyone with information is asked to contact the police. And there is a new poster. A new poster that Cornelius Police Department has released in Madalina's case. Police continue to seek information on the whereabouts of Madalina Cojocari, who hasn't been seen since November. Her mother, Diana, is considered a suspect. And if you have any information, please call 704-892-7773. Again, 704-892-7773. So my personal opinion is, and Cornelius Police Department has said this previously, because this is not the case in most of these disappearances. I believe she was trafficked, and I believe her mother sold her. I believe she's no longer in the United States of America. She's somewhere near Moldova, Russia, somewhere out there. But she's definitely no longer in the United States. All I can hope and pray is that she's still okay and she's still alive somewhere, and that one day she could be found and rescued, because I have zero trust in anyone that's been around her. I don't trust Diana. Christopher I still don't trust. And her mother, who came here. Remember, she came here during all this hoopla, and she said, oh, that Christopher, this and that and the other thing, and that she believed her daughter. I'm not convinced that she doesn't know more either. I don't trust her anymore as well. How much does her family know in Moldova? And that's why I think Diana wants to go back there. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think that she's long gone out of the United States like I do? What do you think? Do you think that Diana is going to be deported? Do you think she's going to try her best to get out of here? Let me know what you think in the comments. And I'm glad they finally are calling her out on this. I don't know if that's going to make much of a difference, sadly. But all we can do is hope and pray for this girl here on the screen, and hope she's one day found safe. Alright guys, I hope you have a great rest of the day. And most of all, stay safe.